And instead of finding, this reminds me of the Apostle Paul as he says, "How will I find you?" But instead of Jesus finding a sacred place of worship, he found corruption, he found greed, he found distraction. So what did he do? What did Jesus do? What did he do? He flipped the tables. He flipped the tables. He cleansed the temple. Why? Because the people had allowed chaos to replace order. They allowed distractions to replace devotion. They allowed the worldliness to take over what was meant to be holy. The temple was meant to be a house of prayer, but they had turned it into a marketplace. Jesus's actions, when he's flipping the tables, he reminds us that sometimes, hallelujah, sometimes God has to remove what doesn't belong in order to restore what does. God has to remove what doesn't belong in order to restore what does. And so the temple, remember, we are the temple. So our hearts, our minds, everything we do in this life, it can become cluttered with things that distract us from God. And if we're not careful, we allow the wrong priorities, the toxic emotions, the unhealthy habits to start to take up place in a space where only God should dwell.